welcome back to Questioning Scents with me, Matt. Okay, winter is fully here in South London. It's bloody freezing at the moment. So I thought I'd do a quick review. Again, the house is my own. So I thought we'd pile through a few today, actually. And this has come up. I've noticed, looking back through some of the reviews, mainly the reviews that we've been doing at Questioning Scents tend to be more of the niche side. And I didn't want people to think that we don't wear designer fragrances, and we do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look through and give a quick rundown of some of the designer fragrances that I really enjoy, and hopefully you will too. They're in no particular order, but I think I have saved one of my favourites till last. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to go through, and some of these I've already reviewed in some depth, and some of them have only just made a brief appearance in a couple of videos that we've done. So to start off with, in no particular order, and these are all fragrances that I genuinely wear as well. So, the ones that I've had more than, a couple of them I've had more than one bottle of, and a couple of them are fairly recent acquisitions. So if we start at the very beginning, we're going to look at this one, which is Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is a fragrance for a young man. And I'm certainly not a young man. But in fairness, in 1995, when this came out, I was a young man, so I still can get away with it. This, as you can see, is a little 40ml bottle. I don't reach for it often, but I used to wear it quite a bit, and I do love it. It's quite notorious. It used to be sort of like the clubbing scent of choice. Every young thruster would be wearing this, and it is very much, as I say, a young man's fragrance. I still love the smell of it. The only thing I will say with this is it's incredibly cheap nowadays. You can get it really, these go for about 20 quid, these little bottles. So it's easy to get hold of. It's this sort of punchy, minty, lavender, vanilla-y kind of fragrance. It's very clean, it's very sweet, it's very inviting. It's it's a real popularist fragrance, and it is, as I say, it's primarily a masculine fragrance, but I think this will smell fantastic on a woman. Just what I will say though is when I first wore this was a beast, and it's not anymore, I'm afraid. It still performs okay, but it doesn't fill a room like it used to do. So it's suffered lots and lots of work over the years, unfortunately, to its detriment. But sometimes, you just want to smell it, you just want to know and remember what it smelled like, so you go for it and grab it. And don't forget, this was made by, Francis Kurkdjian, long before Maison Francis Kurkdjian existed. So this is one of his earliest works, and it is a great fragrance. I still love the smell of it. It's lost a lot of potency, but it still smells great. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, Bentley Intense, or Bentley for Men Intense, or Bentley Intense for Men, I'm not entirely sure. This is a Natalie Lawson creation, and I love it. You've got to like patchouli, and you've got to like woods, and you've got to like rum for this to be for you. But it's a good fragrance. It is a winter fragrance, I personally think, and it is quite masculine. Again, women can wear this. I don't wear this as much as I thought I would, but now it's getting colder, it will probably get much more of a wearing. One thing is with it though, since I've started wearing it a little bit more frequently than say in the summer where I didn't really wear it at all, I've noticed the performance on this. A lot of people say this is beast mode. Now I don't know for sure, but on me it's certainly not. You get that very loud opening for the first sort of 10-20 minutes where it kind of really does punch out, but it drops off very quickly and becomes a skin scent, when it does last very well as a skin scent, don't get me wrong. But I would never, this is a million miles away from beast mode. It's an average performer with good longevity would be the best way to put it. But this is a good fragrance, don't get me wrong. And I know a lot of people say it smells like niche for little money, and this is a cheap fragrance, and it does have that niche smell to it, so I can't argue with that. Presentation's lovely as well. So that's a Bentley, which is, I have put this as a designer. It's it's not a niche fragrance, and it would certainly fall more into the designer category. So well worth checking out if you haven't. I strongly recommend you try that one. Next up, we have Boss Bottled Ode. Now, I do wear this. and I do like this a lot, actually. It's the only fragrance I've got from Boss, and it's probably the only one I want. The reason, I mean, I have done a very long review of this, so please have a look down below and find it. This is a functional oud that's good for people getting into oud. This is a functional oud that's not scary, it's not funky, it's not barnyardy, it's not animalic, or all the other things that could possibly be suggested. It's a good fragrance, a decent performer. It lasts well on me. When I got this originally, I tried Versace Oud Noir, I tried the Polos, Ralph Lauren's Polos Oud, and a couple of others around at the time, and this certainly was, and the Dunhill, the gold bottle Dunhill, which was probably the nicest smelling of the lot, but certainly the worst performing, and this in some respects had the best performance out of all of them, so this is worth looking at. And it's cheap now too, you can get it for a really good price. So Boss Bottled Ode, another designer scent that I do actually wear. Okay, next up we're going to Dunhill, and this is Carlos Ben Eames Century, and this hasn't been out that long actually. I think 2018 this came out. This is a really nice fragrance. This is, for me, it's more of a summer fragrance. It probably won't get much usage out of me in the winter. I have done quite a long review of it, but this is a good frag. It's got neroli in it. It's on my skin. It's very fizzy. It bubbles. It pings. It's fresh. It's quite a sophisticated fragrance. It's a perfect fragrance for work. Perfect fragrance for going out. Nice evening fragrance. But for me, this is definitely geared more for the summer, and I haven't reached for it in quite a while. As the weather gets colder, I'm just sort of not really grabbing for it, but there's nothing against this. This is a good fragrance. This is a good asset to have in anyone's collection. I think this is a younger fragrance than, say, Icon, probably more for the younger crowd, but I still like it. Presentation, I mean, Dunhill really know what they're doing with bottles. I mean, that is a gorgeous bottle. I really enjoy this one. As I say, I haven't worn it a lot lately purely because it's been getting so cold, and it doesn't really seem to me to be a very cold fragrance. But fizzy, fun in a bottle. Really worth looking at. Next up, another one from Natalie Lawson, and this is him from Zadig and Voltaire. This is a really good scent. I'm actually wearing it on this wrist at the moment. And this is incense, pepper, a little bit of tonka, a little bit of creamy sandalwood, vanilla. And you know what this is? This is good fun. This is rock and roll in a bottle. And what I also think, this is, I'm lucky enough to own Xeroth's Ivory Root. And this is like a budget version of Ivory Root. It does a kind of a similar thing with the sort of incensey, spicy, peppery note with the sweet and the creamy sandalwood and the vanilla. This is a really good fragrance, and you can get this quite cheaply. I strongly recommend this one. This is a good going out fragrance. You could wear it for work if you just tone it down a bit. A strong favourite of mine, and I'm really glad I've got this. I highly recommend you sample this. Obviously they're a fashion house, so they've got quite, they've got a worldwide chain of shops, so you can buy it. You can buy it online pretty cheaply. It's a lot more expensive if you go into a Zadig and Voltaire to try and buy it. It will cost you more. So get it from a discounter. But if you're, if you want to smell it, then go into one of the clothes shops. They normally carry these. This is how I first smelt it. I smelt it in a clothing store in London. And you can have a spray on skin and see how it reacts. But I really enjoy this, and I think you will too. If you like sort of slightly spicy, slightly sweet, quite masculine, fun fragrances, have a look at that. Really good stuff. Highly recommended. And now, I can't do a chat or I can't do a review on designer fragrances without this. This is probably my favourite designer fragrance of all time, and this is the legendary Dunhill Icon. I absolutely adore this fragrance. I have a backup bottle of it as well. It's one that I will never be without. This came out in 2015. It's another one from Carlos Ben Eames. Beautiful, classy fragrance. This is a grown-up, suited and booted, smelling fantastic fragrance. I no longer work in a suit, and I haven't done for many years, but if I still did, I would have worn this every single day. Performance on me is pretty good. It's I get a day out of it. It's not the best performer, but I'll get a good 6 or 7 hours out of this with very strong projection for the first couple of hours. Bottle is glorious. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to have. And also, if you get burgled, you could easily beat someone to death with it. This is such a solid piece of work. Really strong, strong fragrance, and one I absolutely adore, and one I will always have a bottle of in my collection. If I get wind of it being discontinued, then I will stock up and make sure I get some more. I can't say enough good things about this. Some people have compared this to grape soda, and I don't get that at all, to be honest with you. But then, you know, fragrance is very personal, isn't it? Really, really like this. If somehow you live on the somewhere on the outer side of the planet or somewhere, and you've never smelt this or you've never got around to trying it, please do. It is a little bit divisive, and I don't understand why. Black pepper, lavender, cardamom, vetiver, oak moss. It does have oud listed as an ingredient, or sorry, as a note or an accord within this. And I've worn this probably more than anyone, and I've never yet found any oud in it. So it could be me, or it could be that the oud is so clean or so minuscule in an amount in here that it's undetectable to my great big nose. But I can't find any oud in this, so don't be put off by the oud. It's a beautiful fragrance, and one I absolutely love. Okay, and now the final one we have Yves Saint Laurent's. Here we are. I'll try and do a trick here. Yves Saint Laurent's Y EDP. This is a recent purchase for me, and my God, I love this. I've been wearing this to work sort of more or less every day now. And it's just a glorious, glorious fragrance. This came out, I think, last year. Yeah, it came out in 2018, and the nose behind it is Dominique Ropignon, who's obviously, an absolute legend. You don't really need to talk too much about Mr. Ropignon, because he's worked for Frederic Malle. He's done lots and lots and lots and lots of fragrances that I absolutely adore. I own a few by him, and they're all pretty damn good. This is, I think, what they've done. Yves Saint Laurent have obviously given Dominique Ropignon a brief to make a fragrance that's mass appealing, that's going to be a good performer, and it's going to be successful. And what they've done is they've looked at this sort of market where, this is very much, it opens in that kind of a blue frag way. It's a bit shower jelly. There's hints of Dior Sauvage, there's hints of Bleu de Chanel, there's hints of blue, there's almost a little bit of Le Mal in this. It kind of ticks every box. So I think what they've done is they've taken the best bit of all the fragrances of that genre and condensed them into the EDP. I haven't tried the EDT. I was recommended to try the EDP, and that's what I went for. Now, Rich, my partner in question in Scents, he said that he wanted to try this, and I hadn't at that particular point. So recently I was flying with my family up to Scotland. So we were at Gatwick, and I thought I'd try this. I sprayed it on card. I thought, yeah, that smells really, really nice. So then when I fly, I try not to wear too loud a scent. I like to have something quite soft on. And I don't think I'd applied anything that day. So I then, in the duty free, I sort of sprayed it on a bit. And as we got on the plane, then I realised just how bloody strong it was. It was projecting everywhere. So apologies to anybody on that plane. It was me that fogged it out with this stuff, because I had no idea. When I smelt it on paper, it smelt lovely, but I had no idea how much it projects and how much it kicks off your skin for the first 3 hours. It really, really does. So I wore this to work yesterday, and I left my house at 5:30 in the morning, and I thought I would do an hourly check on it with a colleague to see how it was going. By 11:30, it was still pumping out. It was still much, much more than a skin scent. So you get 3 to 4 hours of big projection with really good sillage as well. This gets compliments like nothing on earth. It's just a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. It's got bergamot, it's got ginger, it's got sage, it's got juniper, it's got vetiver, it's got cedar, it's got tonka, it's got amber woods, it's got olibanum, it's got everything in it that the blue sort of fragrance has. But when it dries down, after the first couple of hours, it sort of loses that blueness and then becomes more like something akin to Mancera Cedra Boisé. It's that sweet, fruity woodiness that comes through with this that I just absolutely adore. And in the dry down, where I think this is at its best, after the first few hours, when it loses its blueness and becomes this sweet, woody, fruity, just bundle of joy, it still manages to project quite well in the dry down, which is quite rare for fragrance. They normally tend to burn out when they've kind of opened up and you get all the good bits and then they kind of soften off. But when this is in the dry down, it's still projecting, and it just makes it an absolutely perfect scent for those that like that kind of thing. I really, really strongly recommend this. This is the most recent designer scent that I've bought. And I think this is an absolute triumph, and I really applaud Yves Saint Laurent for white EDP. I think this is an excellent fragrance, and hopefully one that you'd like. Any age group can wear this. You can wear it formally, you can wear it casually. A young guy can wear this, an older guy can wear this, a confident woman can wear this, and it will smell amazing on just about everyone, unless you've got some kind of weird skin, clash with it where your skin chemistry does not work with it. This is going to be good for you. Presentation's pretty cool, very stiff cap, got the little YSL logo on it there. Yeah, it's a nice bottle. I really enjoy wearing this one. So anyway, listen, that's a quick run through the designer fragrances that I'm actually wearing at the moment, and designer fragrances that I enjoy, and certainly designer fragrances that I recommend that you have a go at. So listen, thank you very much for your time. We'll be back very soon with another video. If you like what you've seen, please like and subscribe. We've got quite a lot of other videos to come, and there's quite a lot of videos that we've already done for you to go through and have a look at. So listen, once again, thank you very much for your time, and we will be back very soon. Cheers and bye!